guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video episode. You guys know how I like to do it, how I rock and roll. I want to extend my heart to you, my viewing audience. I appreciate you. So whether you're tuning in from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, you guys know that you are myheart.com. Listen, I appreciate you from week to week. I am Dr. Marva, and I am the author of The Promise Tested. And on this week's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to cultivate grit in your marital relationship. Now, if you joined in and you watched the last episode, we talked about resiliency in marriage. And we said that resiliency was that bounce back factor, right? It's our ability to bounce back and to be in a thing from beginning to end, no matter the struggles and no matter the challenges. Well, if you have resiliency, guess what? That means you have grit, which is what I want to talk to you about today. Grit in a marriage is so vitally important. And if I were to define grit for you, I would say that grit is that stickiness. Now, I want you to think about it from the aspect of glue or some type of adhesive. So if something is glued together, if there's some type of adhesive that's causing one thing to be bonded to another, that means that it's bonded. That means that it's stuck together no matter what. So in our marital relationships, let's go back to the example that we talked about last week about financial challenges. Now, women, if I can just keep it 100 with you, let me just say this, because oftentimes that is normally the biggest struggle for a lot of women, and that is where they sometimes make a decision that they're going to throw in the towel. Now, I gave an example of my husband being unemployed for 3 years at a point in time in our marriage. And granted, that was a very challenging time for us, but I want you to understand this, that was not our first rodeo. I had been laid off before. He had been laid off a couple times before that 3-year long stretch. But each and every time that a layoff situation and financial challenges were presented in our marriage, it bonded us together. It, in essence, made us stronger and stronger and stronger in our relationship together. And we learned how to become one in the midst of those financial challenges. So grit is your ability to be able to stick through a situation no matter how challenging it might be. And it's your bounce back in that that's going to give you the ability to be able to withstand the test of time. So you may say, well, that's all good and that's fine, but how do I maintain that grittiness when I know I'm struggling? How do I maintain the sense of being bonded and growing stronger and stronger with my husband, even in the midst of challenges? I'm going to give you a couple suggestions. Number one, accept the setbacks. Setbacks are inevitable. But understand that through those setbacks, your comeback from that setback is oftentimes and far more times is going to be greater than anything that you had experienced. We grew stronger and stronger with each challenge that was presented to us in our marriage. Here's the second thing I want you to remember. Acknowledge obstacles. Acknowledge challenges, which really are sometimes can be presented as roadblocks. So if you think about roadblocks from a natural perspective, if you're driving down the road and you come across a roadblock, what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit there in your car and just stare down that pathway and don't budge? I guarantee you, you're going to find another pathway. You're going to take a detour to get to the final destination place, where it's the same thing with marriage, right? So if you come across a roadblock in your marriage, you're not, or you shouldn't, just sit there, stare at the issue, stare at the problem, throw in the towel and say, oh, well, I guess I can't do it. I guess we can't make it. I guess we're just going to struggle here. No, you're going to find another pathway, another detour, right, to get to your final destination. That's what we call stickiness. That's resilience. Really, it boils down to changing and shifting your perspective. Your mindset has to change. And there are two different mindsets that you can have. You can have what's called a fixed mindset, Or you can have what's called a growth mindset. A fixed mindset looks like this. Man, I'm having this financial challenge, and right now this is a struggle for me, and you know what? I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. I can't keep doing this. I need you to be working. Why aren't you working? This right here is not going to work, so I'm getting out. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset looks a little bit different. And a growth mindset says this. You know what, honey? I realize that this is a challenge that we're facing right now. But you know what? We're going to face it together. I know that you're going to find another position. And so we're just going to continue to navigate through this the best way that we can. And we're going to come out triumphant on the other end. You see the difference between having this fixed mindset that's just so readily ready to just throw in the towel and to give up versus having a growth mindset. One that's settled, one that's determined, one that's resilient, one that has stamina and perseverance, no matter what the struggles, no matter what the challenges, no matter what you're going through at that very moment in time. Remember, don't let the setbacks define you. That comeback is going to be better. Acknowledge those obstacles, understanding that they're there, but the roadblocks are only there temporarily to strengthen you. You can't grow and you can't stretch without challenges and without struggles. And that's how you remain gritty in your marriage. You have to make a determination that you're going to stick in it to win it. I hope that was a blessing to you, and I hope you found this valuable and beneficial. Once again, I'm Dr. Marva, and I'm the author of The Promise Tested.